Hi everyone. In our session today we are going to continue thinking about the Room on the Broom story, and in particular we are going to be thinking about adjectives today. Now, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. Okay, so I've chosen a piece of text from Room on the Broom and I've written it out for us, and I've put some of the adjectives in red. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to read it through together, and then we're going to have a look at what happens to the story if we change some of the adjectives. Okay, so I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a second. We'll just read it together first. So, over the fields and the forests they flew, the dog wagged his tail and the stormy wind blew. The witch laughed aloud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her long ginger plait. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. Okay, so adjectives describe nouns, and what I want us to try and do today is to see if we change the adjectives, does it give the reader a different impression of the story? So remember, in class we talk about adjectives and we use those to help give the reader like an image and a picture in their mind. So the more we describe something, the better that image will be for the person reading it. So when I've been reading this, I can think, oh, the stormy wind blew. So I get the impression that it's obviously really windy outside. So I wonder, if we change the word stormy to something else, does it change my impression? I can picture the witch from this description with her long ginger plait. I can picture her hair. So if I change these two words to describe the plait, does it give me a different image of the witch? And then obviously I can picture a little green bird flapping its wings and coming out of the tree with the bow in her beak. If I change the word green, if I change the green adjective to a different word to describe the bird, what sort of image do I get in my mind? Okay, so I'm going to rub out those three adjectives and I'm going to try and change them to see if it gives me a different image in my mind. Okay, so instead of it being a stormy wind that blew, I'm going to try and make it sound not stormy. So I'm going to say what could I say, the fine wind blew, or I know, here's a good word, the calm wind blew. That gives me a different image, doesn't it? The witch laughed aloud and held on to her hat, but away blew, oh, hang on, this has come out, let's get that back in, but away blew the bow from her. Now it was a long ginger plait, wasn't it? I'm going to change it to I'm going to make it sound wild. From her wild, I want it to sound like she's got really big hair, so I'm going to say the word bushy. That's a different image, a wild bushy plait. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped now it did say a green bird, but I want to make it sound, like it's like a really big bird, something really big. So there flapped don't know if I've got enough space for this, but I'll add it in a large, and then I'm going to have to put a little arrow to write it up here, winged. Oh, that sounds better, doesn't it? A large winged bird with the bow in her beak. So now, because I've changed those adjectives, when I read it through now, I'll probably get a different image in my mind. Let's have a look. Over the fields and the forests they flew. The dog wagged his tail and the calm wind blew. The witch laughed aloud and held onto her hat, but away blew the bow from her wild bushy plait. Then out from a tree with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a large winged bird with the bow in her beak. So can you see, by changing the adjectives, I've now got a different image in my mind when I read that paragraph through. Why don't you have a little try and see if you can change some of the adjectives in this paragraph and see what image you can create in your mind? And I'll see you again soon.